Hello and welcome to a new studio vlog. Now I know I'm at home, but I'm about to head to the studio. I first have to pack my bags, put the washing out, and then we're going to head there. But before I start, I've just received the new Gary Vee Day Trading Attention book, and this only came out, I think, May. I ordered it a few days ago and I'm only about 20 pages in. Sorry, that was real mail. I think I've got a delivery coming later today. It's about the TikTokification of social media. Now, if you know me, you'll know I really dislike the quick trends of everything. It's not for me. But that being said, I understand the place for it. And it's actually trying to understand that it's more than just dances, and it's that connecting with people. So I'm going a lot deeper with trying to understand everything and essentially how we can create the best content and get the best exposure for our businesses, and how I can help you as well. Going back years ago, Instagram used to be where you built your followers and you'd post that content. Now, when you followed a follower, and that sounds a bit of a mouthful, but bear with me. When you follow a follower, their interests change and they may no longer fit where you're kind of at. These days, the way that the algorithm has changed is that you can follow interest, and now you don't even have to have a lot of followers to reach those people with the same interest. What I've enjoyed about accounts with much smaller followers is that I can gain really great results, and the follower count doesn't actually matter, and the awareness on the product and the exposure I can get doesn't actually have an effect on how many followers or not I have, because I'm connecting with people that have similar interests and putting that information in front of them. Collaborations is working really well. I can connect with someone who has a similar interest or a similar product, and then I'm using their audience to gain more traction and more eyes on the video, which it just works really well. Going back to this book, I'm only a couple of chapters in, so I can't sit here and say I've completely read it all. I've only had it a few days, so I'm trying to just read a little bit at a time. I'm using it as a reference book, so I'm scribbling in it, I'm making notes. My daughter's added some eyes to it, which is great. But yeah, essentially, it's kind of dissecting all that information. Now, if I find you this one segment, hang on a little minute. Oh, that's not what I'm after. Where was it? Basically, okay, I can't find the actual page. I'll have to come back to you at the end of the video, but it gives you a lot of diagrams in how organic content kind of works and what you can do to amplify that for your brand. There's lots of examples. He uses it for all different types of examples and basically just dissects a lot of that. And it might not be nothing new. It's stuff that we all kind of already know. But sometimes just reading those words on paper and hearing about them, it kind of gets your brain and the cogs going and just ticking, thinking about what can I do? How can I make the content that I'm creating more effective? So yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing. I like to combine this with Pinterest, YouTube Shorts. That's where I'm putting a lot of my attention primarily, because it is SEO based, it's search engine optimization. Your content has a longer time span on those platforms, because I can post something. I mean, I posted something the other day and it got like 3 views, and then all of a sudden, because the algorithm and the search term connected with an audience, it just skyrocketed, and then that showed the video to more people, and then overnight gathered a couple of thousand views. So initially, if you'd see that on social media, you might think, oh, it's got like 3 or 4 views, I'm going to delete it, I'm rubbish at my job, XYZ, all those things that social media kind of makes us believe sometimes. So that's why I look at different strategies and how you can kind of step back from your business yourself and make impactful decisions where you can be intentional with the content that you're going to create. I batch create once a week, so it's Monday, so here we are, we're going to create, and then I'll schedule that out for the week ahead. Because I have different social accounts that I have to run, I have to do this, because otherwise I'll just be on my phone constantly. So that's why I've lent into this way. It also allows me to do other parts of my business, work on my website, look at analytics properly, just have that time to go a bit deeper. And if you're running a product business, that's to be able to, you know, create new products, spend more time making new products, answering the messages, rather than the marketing aspect feeling like it's the last thing that, you know, got to do at the end of the day. And I've saw a trend, so I'm going to jump on that one kind of scenario. It just means like, okay, I'm creating content that I know my audience will like, it's aligned with them. And ultimately, as a creative, I want to be able to be creative with my content. I don't want to just feel like I'm doing it for the sake of it. Like, I enjoy being creative, and that rolls out into my video editing and creating with my camera. And that's essentially why I love doing it. I've also been going a lot deeper with my strategy with storytelling. If you'd have seen on my LinkedIn, on a Friday, I kind of sign off for the week, and I'll leave a post on a Friday summarising what I've done that last week or two. Sometimes, I don't do it every week, but quite often I do. And I'll summarise what I've learned that week. It helps me to connect with other businesses. It's also there for other people to learn from, gather ideas. And it also just puts me in a position of trying to understand my own work. Sometimes we do it and I'm like, oh, I've done it. But actually, when I go back and I delve into it and I'm like, okay, this is why I did what I did. Bear with me. I have got these Pip Decks. Now, here's just a few. I've got storyteller, brand tactics, strategy tactics. Now, these come on an app as part of a bigger package, but the physical decks are great themselves, and it's just allowed me to really dissect each piece of content that I'm going to create. So I don't do it essentially from a, like, if it's a 5-second video, I'm going to go really deep into it. But it allows me, like, that week to be like, okay, this is how we're going to approach this strategy. This is what I want to tell. This is what I want to communicate. And it just helps me feel like I'm on the right track with understanding my own business in terms of what it is that I want to communicate. So here they are. They're physical decks. You almost follow a recipe card to begin with. And let's see if it's going to focus. It's ultimately a flowchart, and the flowchart helps you get to where you need to be in order to ask those questions. Do you know why you need a story? Yes or no. You go to either no, you go to concept, yes, you go down, and you keep following until you know. Do you know your role in your story? Yes or no. Go to character. If not, you go to yes. And then you can, from that point, it helps you choose which card you need to go to next. Okay, I'm trying to give you an example that is easy to quickly come up with an answer and explain. Okay, let's have a look at the character card. So on the front, it explains, oh no, you're losing your audience. Their minds are wandering. Quick, get their attention back on you. Thou shalt not be dull is a golden rule of storytelling. You know when you're losing your people. They start to look restless and uncomfortable. Let's be honest, it's annoying when you're listening to a boring story. So it's time to quit the backstory and cut to the chase. Give us action, emotion, or meaning. So this works face-to-face storytelling, but it also applies to online stories too. Assume we get bored easily. How can you tweak your attention throughout your story? So this is essentially if you're telling a bit of a bigger story and you just want to do a segment, but you can think of this tactic like an emergency escape plan. If your well-prepared story is going badly, bail out with one of these. Take us to a moment in a story which hinges on, especially if it's an abrupt change or crisis, and they give examples. So basically what happened was, suddenly, or the worst moment was, cut to the emotion, and then it gives some examples. I was amazed when, shocked, surprise, insert. I was so disappointed, XYZ. And I think these are all great examples that you can use as actually hooks to a video. So if you're looking for an example for a 15-second hook for an Instagram reel, you could always thought, like here, cut to the meaning, I'll never forget, ... So for me, for a business owner, I could use, I'll never forget when I'll never forget, ... when I decided to quit my job and start my small business, and then I can explain my story. So that's just like a really super duper quick example of how you can use that. And sometimes for me, what's helped with these cards is, okay, I can see a lot of trends going on, like online, you know, the butterfly effect one, for example, XYZ, but these help keep you on track and in your own lane in order to create your own authenticity. I'm trying to use what I've learned in day trading attention to use this strategy and theory, but in order to captivate the audience that is going to listen to that. So yeah, there's been a lot of digging. I've been doing a lot on my, sorry, another card gone past. I've been doing a lot as well with my brand. And again, going deeper, if we take a quick look at these, let's get some recipe cards. For example, this one, Icon Builder, take extraordinary creative leaps. Good brands are clear, compelling, and consistent. So then it gives you 5 different examples to work on. The Philosopher, Look at Me, Creative Canvas, One Thing, and Brand Stretch. So the creative canvas is look across your business to find creative ways of applying your big ideas you've identified. Look at Me is understanding what your brand says about the people who use it. And the Philosopher, expand your brand's horizons by identifying a bigger topic it can become associated with. I use these especially when I'm working with other brands, because I have to step into the brand and help them to understand these concepts and what they want to communicate, and just to go deeper with the message. So I've put that on backwards, let's put that right. So that's why they've been really useful for me. I've spent 10 years in business. I've done a lot of work of understanding that, but it's different to applying it to other people's brands and really helping. So that's why it's just helped me go deeper with the knowledge that I know, but in order to help apply that with brands and just to really maximize what we can achieve. I'm going to put them back on my shelf. I do keep them at home a lot of the time, because at work, when I'm in my studio, I'm doing a lot of the creative element. I'm there, I'm shooting, I'm filming, I'm taking photos. So a lot of the time at home, I'm very much, you know, sat with a cup of tea, I'm sat with my notebook, and I'm just doing the thinking work. Usually when my daughter's gone to bed, and I'm a bit of a night owl, so my brain kind of kicks into gear at 9 o'clock. Not always great. I'd love it to kick in at 6 in the morning, but it doesn't. So I like to sit down on an evening, and I'm not one to watch much TV other than Bridgerton. Can't wait for the next half of the series. But for the most part, I love sitting down with a cup of tea and just really going through things, looking at my ideas, and really just doing some digging. I've always enjoyed it. I'm someone who very much enjoyed that aspect of school, and I'd always be up working late at like 10 o'clock at night, still doing my coursework. If the essay was 2,000, I'd probably write 4,000 words. I just used to get carried away, and it's just something that's, you know, always been me. But anyway, I'm babbling on. I've got to go and put my washing out. Looks like rain, British summer, but I think I've looked at the forecast, it's going to remain overcast. So I'm going to go and put it out before we go to work, pack my bags, and then we're going to head there. I have got an exciting parcel. We're going to unopen it at work, take my laptop and everything with me, and because a lot of my content that I'm going to do is going to be about those, and I'll explain a little bit later on. But for now, let's go and pack the bags. The roses at the minute in the garden. Oh, hello, Luna. This one is a David Austin rose, and it's actually what's it called? I think it's called Poet's Wife, and it's a beautiful lemon tea kind of fragrance. It's absolutely stunning. We've just had our first flush of roses, and we usually get a second in about September. But anyway, I'm gonna go and pack my bags and let's head to the studio. Right, let's take laptop. And okay, Lou, can't forget the parcel. I need to take that. I know. You know we're going to the studio, don't you? Right, let's get my bags sorted. Oh, it's a bit chilly in here. Right. Before I do anything else, I've just got to send a quick advert off to a magazine. So before I do anything else, that is my priority. I'm going to hook onto my hotspot and just send that, and then we can get cracking with... Oh, I do that all the time. You know, the end of the Mac power bank, the top bit always comes off. Right, let's get cracking with this bit. Advert is done, sent. I'm just going to move my laptop out of the way. I quickly, before I do that, I'm just going to create a video for my Instagram reels. Now, I've just saw my LinkedIn post notification. Sorry, I got distracted. Right, I'll come back to this. I went to post an Instagram reel, and then my LinkedIn gave me a notification that my post had reached, or my page had got 1,600 impressions. So I posted on Friday a bit of a roundup about working with Tough Mudder. Let me expand that a little bit. Let's click my post. Hang on. Let me just get to the post. There you go. So I did a bit of a write-up and included some visuals. And since Friday, now I've only got about 30 connections on LinkedIn, not very many. It's something I've started this year and I'm starting to build up. I think I've got 30 connections and about 100 followers or so. But the post has got 1,500 impressions. Now, I've tagged the brands that I've worked with, and it seems to work really well. Like I mentioned earlier, it's allowed me to really dissect my own work and understand it for myself, and I've really enjoyed it. I enjoy the space of LinkedIn at the moment. I don't really know why I didn't do it sooner, if I'm honest, but if you want to chat business and you like to look at other people's insights and why they do things, join me over on LinkedIn. You can find me via my professional name, not necessarily my business name. I will put a link below to the page if that's something that you want to look for. But essentially you can see, I don't know if it's going to focus, but you can see my little picture. If you see me, make sure you pop by, say hello, and join the conversation and join the connections. Now, before I go up to lunch, because I'm going to have lunch before I do anything else today, I'm just going to send over some of the clips that I have just filmed over on my iPhone. Send them over to my iPad. Wait for them to airdrop. And then you can see them in their real, like, you know, they don't look much. They're pretty naff. And I'm going to go ahead and edit them now over in CapCut. I find CapCut the easiest and best software to use. I'm just adding them all in, clicking add, and I'm just going to edit, and I'll show you the final video in a second. Okay, video is edited. This is what it looks like. It's 7 seconds long. I may even trim it down to the music when I'm in Instagram, but it's just really simple. And it's just to share with my audience a little something that made me giggle last week when sorry, that was loud. When I turned up to my client and I saw her wand in my bag and I didn't know anything about it, and I opened my bag and it just made me smile. I love seeing her things when she's left them around, but yeah, I just thought I'd share the moment. And it's just one of the ways where I'm connecting with my audience about my daughter, because she's a huge part of my life, but just without really sharing her and her identity and things. So I'm just going to go and just find some music. I'll turn you off for this bit and then I'll let you know when I've posted. If you want to see the final result, head over to my Instagram, handmade_designs. If you want to have a bit of a giggle. Moving on to the next bit, I have got some content to shoot for a brand. Now this is for the brand Arterium, I think is how it's pronounced. I'll have to double check. And so this isn't an ad necessarily in this video, although if you want to, I can send the links. This is an ad that will be going out onto my Instagram. I'm just trying to open it. I should have got my little package opener thing, shouldn't I have done it properly, but hey ho, who else doesn't just rip open parcels? Ugh. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Here it is, a paint by numbers. They're pretty big actually, much bigger than I thought. And it's got 3 brushes included, it's on a wooden frame, and it includes the paints. This is the picture that I'm going to paint, so I've chose some daisies, and I think when I'm done, I might even keep them up here because I think they'll be quite nice as backdrops. And they've actually sent me 2, so I also chose this one, which is some lovely sunflowers. Oh, hang on, my phone's going. Hello?
Your beans and peas.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. It's my dad. He's made me some beans on toast for my lunch, which is nice. So I'm going to go and have lunch before I start. Yeah, these are the 2 paintings. So this one has a difficulty of 4 out of 5 star. And this one has a 3 star. So this one's supposed to be slightly easier. This one a little bit harder. We'll have a look at the outline. So when I work with companies, there'll be a little bit of an outline about what they expect me to produce for them and vice versa, and what I'm getting out of it. And there's a little bit of a kind of contract there. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. I was like, oh, what's this special painting technique? So yeah, I'll explain that a little bit later on. Off the top of my head, I think they want a few stories of my progress, and then they want a video at the end versus, I think it's just like a 15-second video or so, either on my Instagram or on TikTok. So I thought of actually doing something a little bit different and just trialing it so I can do the experiment with you guys and we can see the results. So for Instagram, I'm going to do a kind of progression video. For TikTok, I'm going to do day 1 of blah blah, you know, working on day 1 of doing something relaxing outside of my business, day 2, day 3, etc., and filming that, and then using those videos that I filmed for that as stories for my Instagram. So that's how I'm going to do it. Don't know if that's how that's going to turn out, but at least it gives me different content and different angles to go at. I'll also have this footage over on here. I don't think any of it is going to be that usable because I'm going to be using my big camera for filming behind the scenes, and for the content on this I'm going to be using my phone. But yeah, just sounds really fun. I'm finished for the day now with the work that I have to do. I know that doesn't look like I've done a lot on here with you guys, but believe me, I have behind the scenes. and that means I can get started on my painting. It's just, do I do this one first or this one? I might even go and ask my Instagram stories. I've just put a poll over on my Instagram stories asking which one should I paint first. Should I do the sunflowers or the daisies? Whilst I wait for that, I'm just going to set up this area, give it a bit of a clean and tidy. I just need to move, I've got things like glue. Oh, I forgot what this is called. Glue gun. I was like, it's a glue gun. Let's move this out the way. Those backdrops aren't too aesthetic, just in the background. But I think I'm going to work from, I just dropped that on the floor. I think I'm going to work from here because it gives me a nice kind of backdrop for it all. I could use the easel that I know they're sending, but that hasn't arrived yet. So I could just use this one that I have. I think that's going to work nicely. Let's zoom you out a little bit. Might need to also tilt you. There we go. Right, let's get set up ready to film this segment. So let's open the box. Okay, it's the box empty. So all the paints that I need are in this bit, along with some brushes, and I'm just gonna oh, okay, so in here is the hanging bracket, so I also just need to be careful of those. That's my template and my guide to go off. As you can see, I mean, can you see? I don't know if that's too close or not, but each little section is numbered, and there are plenty of different little sections here. And then here are my different colours of paints. And even just going off these, I love the colours. I'm loving the yellows and the mustards and the browns, greens and olives. They're really beautiful. So I'm just really excited to have some time to switch off. And yeah, I love painting. Shouldn't use my teeth, but there we go. I absolutely love painting. As you know, you've seen across my channel various times, I'm always getting the paints out. So it's nice to kind of do a little bit of an activity that doesn't require me to think about what it is that I'm going to paint when I just want the meditation to paint. So yeah, let's head over to my easel, set up the area that I'm going to paint, and get started. Okay, let's move the paints over here for a second and set up the canvas. I may even need to bring this up a little bit. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I've used this, as you can tell. Perfect. No, wait, that's not perfect. I've put it upside down. Now it's perfect. Honestly, what am I like? Right, let's grab a chair and let's grab my paints. And then I need, oh, the dogs, 2 seconds. Let's get my paintbrushes. Hello, you okay? Right, let's put those over there. And then let's set my camera up. I feel like it needs to be here. Right, I'm gonna have to find somewhere to prop this up because I have left my tripod, typical, at home. But I think that's gonna be just as good. Yeah, it's fine. Right, let's bring you over here as well. I know you'll probably want to be part of it. Right, I've got to watch. I haven't got too much stuff stacked up on here. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to hit record on my phone. I'm also going to take that out because that looks a little bit ugly. I'm not going to lie. Then I'm just going to start with a small section over here, I think. Then we're going to go back to over here. Hello, good morning. Today is Friday and I have got a crazy, hectic morning. I'm going out for lunch and with family because it's my nan's birthday around midday. But before all that, I've just dropped Adeline off at nursery and then I've picked up a few things from Hobbycraft this morning, which I'm going to go and put on her trolley. And we'll explain a little bit later on. I've got a call with Pip Decks at 10 o'clock today for around 45 minutes. And the Pip Decks are the strategy-based card concept of tactics for business, XYZ, all of that, which I explained in the beginning of the video. So I've got an exciting call with them at 10 o'clock, which will be nice. And then my mum's coming to pick me up at about 10 to 11 to go and pick some flowers up for my nan, and yeah, we've got to hit the road by 11 o'clock. Adeline is going to come with us to the meal, so we've got to go and pick her up and things, but just logistically, you know, and you're just here, there and everywhere, and it's all wonderful stuff, but you know, you're just trying to get as much done with as little time as possible. Let's take you in the front room actually. So, let's dark. So I had, where can I put you? Let's put you on here. Also, apologies, I haven't set up my mic yet. But here is Adeline's art trolley. It's a little bit of a mess. I don't know if you can see. So it's a little bit overflowing with just everything, arts, crafts, even just baskets with her paper that she likes to cut out at the minute. It's her thing. But this was my trolley, but like anything as a parent, it just seems to, you know, kids have everything. I bought the trolley accessories for it so we can maximise the space on the trolley. Just because she's got a lot of like little washi tapes from Ellis, thank you very much. Big shout out to Ellis. But yeah, I downloaded the app, and when I ordered online, they had, if you spent £15, if you spent £15, you got £5 off, and I was like £1 away from like click and collect. So I added some paper, and essentially by spending £5, I ended up getting everything for £10 because this was half price. This should have been £18 and it was £9. So for £10 I got the trolley accessories, and then I got her some A4 coloured paper in lots of different colours to print, essentially just to cut out. I got her some tracing paper because we've been practicing tracing our letters, and I bought her some 100 pack of tissue paper, all different colours and different discs, because we have the PVA glue out most days at about 9 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, I just thought tissue paper just goes really well with PVA glue. I mean, I'm never ready for it at 9 o'clock in the morning, but there we go. Right, this looks like a job for potentially another day. Yeah, let's just do a quick unboxing. Oh, they're all stuck. Why are they so stuck? here are her rolls from Ellis. So I'm going to just feed them onto here. I'll probably do this a little bit neater when I get a couple of minutes. Look at how fantastic they look. This one is her favourite, by the way. Oh, is it going to focus? It's the one with Ellis's little doggies on, and it's her absolute favourite. It's always the one that gets used the most. Alright, I think we've got room for a few more. Perfect. I've also got her... Wait, I just realised, I think, have I done that wrong? Silly, that goes that way. We've also got rolls of stickers, and I keep them in these crates from Primark. But yeah, I just need to find what I'm going to put here. It could just be that I've put her Play-Doh. I haven't got that much time to play around with it, but I will have a look a little bit later on. But for now, I'll have to just pop these anywhere and come back to it. My other half's probably going to go mad. By the way, the painting that I started in the office, this is where we're at. I'm probably a couple of hours in overall. I'm on like day 3 or 4 of painting it. And what I'm doing is just building up the colours where it's obviously a paint by numbers and there are the paints. And then when I'm finished, I'm going to go back over and build back in with the colour. But so far so good, and I'm really enjoying where I'm at with it. Here's me propping you up on the window ledge because my filming setup is over here. Let's show you. So this is how I'm currently filming on my tripod with my phone and my light box. But I'm over here on my bench propping you up, and I've got the two that I'm talking between. So yeah, let's just hit record and see what we've got. Also, sorry that I haven't got my mics for my camera. I'm currently using them over on my phone, and that's what's... So, apologies for the terrible audio here. The Instagram algorithms are usually pretty good at showing me things that I'm going to be suggested in. The Instagram algorithms are usually pretty good at showing me things that I'm going to be suggested in. Vintage bookcases, new trainers, that... Oh, that was so terrible. I'm going to redo it. Okay. Mic test again. We know what we're doing. Sometimes not. Sometimes maybe good. Hello, I left off this vlog on Friday when I was about to have a video call with Pip Decks. It's now Tuesday. I forgot what day it is already. And on Friday, I actually ended up not having the call. That's rearranged for this Friday. But today, whilst I'm in the studio, I'm going to be embroidering some jumpers for my daughter. I need to move back a little bit. I picked these up in Tesco at half price, and they're really cute and a nice fit, but they're really plain. So I thought I'd add some personalisation and use my embroidery machine to add a little something to the front. So that's what I'm going to do today whilst I'm in between doing all my other jobs. So I'm going to bring you along for that. But my first job of the day is to... Thanks, Loon. Come in. She might as well come in if she's going to do that. Oh, this dog. I've lost my trail of thought now. First job is to download the designs that I'm going to embroider onto the shirt, but I have got someone who has took over my office. As you can see, my sister is here working away, doing the garment printing for a local company. So she's busy doing that. She's took over my desk, so I'm going to go and work in the corner. Thanks. So if you hear all the machines going today and you're wondering they're not from me, that's because they're not. They're from my sister. Right, first job. Let's get my laptop. This dog. This is why I'm mic'd these days. At least it picks up my sound and not everything of the dog. Oh, where's that gone?
Is it a good thing or a bad thing that I've brought some of your toys down?
Can these be resized? 100mm and 125mm. Sorry. Let me just move over a bit.
Oh, alright.
100. Oh yeah, 100mm fine. Yeah, it's probably how I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
look at my mic. This is what it looks like on my computer. I've got the strawberries lined up and it's in my grid. I can see over here I've got my 3 different colours and what order it's going to do them in. So it's going to do the red bit first, then the green leaves, and then the little white pips. So the next bit for me to do is to save the file as a stitch file and then transfer that onto a USB stick. Then I'll take that over to the embroidery machine. Have a look in the threading cloth. No, that's not what I need. This is what I need. I'm after this, that, and some of that. This is always the trickiest bit. Question is, what colours do I do? I'm liking this one. This is just giving me I can either do pastel or bright. That one, what goes well with that one? But I don't know if that's too close.
I like these.
So you want that one? Yeah, and then yellow.
Yeah.
Does it look like blue needs to dominate?
Or yellow. I think, yeah, that.
Yellow in the middle, we'll go with blue first then. Let's give this a quick press. I need one of these for my ironing at home. Well, not really, but imagine how crisp everything had come out. Yeah, exactly. I'm about to head back now and get some lunch. Sorry, today has been a little bit choppy. We have done nursery induct. I'll be tomorrow and Thursday doing client work, so I'll be solely working with them on content creation and our marketing strategy around that. On Friday, I've got to hop on a call with Pip Decks again with the head designer there, and I'll have a little bit of a chat with you and finalise the video and my conversation after I've had that call. I've then got to jump on and do some client work, but I'll conclude in that video. But for now, I'm going to go and have some lunch. It's now Friday and we've just done nursery run, and I'm about to jump on a call with Pip Decks, which will be really exciting. I will bring you along for the beginning of that meeting, and then I'll do a little bit of a summary and how it went after. But yeah, super exciting. I've had some really fun inbounds, which, you know, when they kind of come in and you're a little bit like, is this for real? Do they really want to work with me? It was kind of one of those scenarios. I'm just waiting for all of that to finalise, and hopefully when it comes to the next vlog I can kind of share who that was and just the work that I'm doing with them. But I've got 1 minute, so I am going to pop my headphones in, connect to my computer, and then head over to my call. So you can't quite see, probably because of the reflection. I might have to turn that down. Sound like I'm sitting in a really dark room. I think it looks a bit freaky, doesn't it? I'm going to have to, I have to put the blind up a little bit. Right, I'm going to join my meeting. I will see you in a little bit. Let's get comfortable. Hello, morning. I'm good, thank you. Yourself? Good. Yes, it's right. Busy. Yeah, you know when you just a million and one tasks and you're here, there and everywhere and life, but yeah. All good. How about yourself? Yes, so I own a business. Handmade Designs is essentially the business, and I almost freelance my services in a content creation way and a marketing strategy way. So the way in which I intended to have the cards was to both for my own business and to use that with a client, essentially. I've been in business since 2013, so I think we're in like my 11th year now of running the business. Thanks. And it's evolved over the years, and I went from primarily a product-based business in the last 3 years to switch into the services side, just from the natural pull of, you know, people asking me to do it. And I wanted the Pip Decks to essentially enhance kind of what I know, but you know, you want to go a little bit deeper with that. And sometimes especially when you're working for myself, you're a little bit like, you've got no one else around you to generate those ideas and bounce anything off. So for me, it was a tool to kind of have something alongside to access. And naturally, I'm always someone who is reading a lot of books and trying to take in as much information and learning as possible. But I found with my books, I'm reading them, and then you kind of, you know, you take what you need, but then you park the bus, and obviously you can be reading a book for months at a time. So it was kind of a take from that, I guess. Yeah, so it's essentially a lot like that, because even when I'm working with clients, they're essentially bringing me in to bring them the value, and I'm trying to learn a little bit more how to get information from other people, because people aren't necessarily forthcoming and they do things a little bit traditionally. That's kind of the angle of which I've always come at, but never really understood that or dissected it. It just was something that I've always done as part of my business, and that's how it evolved into being a product-based business. I essentially grew a following from a technique from telling my story and not really understanding that that was something, into a service-based business where people was like, okay, can you work with us and, you know, do things this way and X, Y, Z. So it's been able for me to break that down and understand the methods behind it, really. Essentially, I go to the app first. I prefer the physical cards and I like working from the physical cards, but sometimes I don't know where to start when it is a box of cards and I'm just like, it's just a bunch of text. And sometimes, you know, when you're not necessarily reading what's on the cards because you're just like, okay, where am I at? So I'll start with the app. What is it that I'm trying to figure out or break down today or achieve or whatever it is? And then I break that down, find what card that I need based on, you know, the like framework. And then I grab the physical cards and I have them in front of me, and then I work from the cards. So that's essentially kind of how I've found it work. If I'm at a client's and I'm just away in the background, just working away on some stuff, I will have it on my iPad next to me because I won't take my physical decks with me. I mean, they're right, I've got them right here above my head on my work desk because they're always, you know, you just got them out to play with. But I will have the app with me when I'm kind of with clients and stuff. It's later and it went really well actually, and it was a really lovely conversation, and I always love talking business and just strategies and just how I do things. So it was really lovely to feel heard as well from a company, so that's a really great perspective, and just see what they can do better and what my takes are from it. So yeah, it's really lovely. But anyway, I'm going to end the vlog here. I've got some more washing to put outside and I'm going to start editing this vlog. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.